Hey friends, welcome to day 3 of the Build Your Audience Online Summit. I am so excited for this day because today we are focusing on thought leadership, and we are focusing on a topic that I've personally become more and more enthusiastic about, and that is writing and publishing books. It is something that I had in my mind for ages. I wanted to write a book. I think in 2014 I got the idea to write a book, and I never got around to it until this year. And this year I've published the Virtual Summit Mastery Method, and I'm actually teaming up with one of the speakers of today's sessions on republishing that in a proper way as a Kindle and a print book as well. And that book has hit #1 best-selling author on the launch day on Amazon for its category, and that was telemarketing. So it was a relevant category. It was not something that I just chose to rank easily. First of all, I want to thank you. Before I start going through the sessions, I want to say a big thank you, especially to Amy Liu, who has been emailing with me back and forth, and it wasn't always easy. I apologize. But Amy, I want to say that I appreciate you. And then also for all the positive feedback that I've seen on social media. Nicole Holland, for example, has been raving about the sessions from Kim Doyle yesterday. I saw George Wheeler getting a lot out of Matthew Hunt's session on day 1. I saw Jim and Paul from Digital Navigator. Even though they are a sponsor and they are super busy running their business, they are taking the time to go through all these sessions, and they leave very meaningful comments. I appreciate all those comments and feedbacks and emails that I'm getting quite a lot. I don't take this for granted that people are actually spending time on the events that I'm putting together. So thank you for that. On day 3, it is the second to last day. As you can see, we only have today and tomorrow left for this event. And to be honest, it is one eye is laughing, one eye is crying when I think about the event, that it's over soon. But I want to make the most out of this event. So for day 3, let's go through it. First of all, if you haven't already, download the note-taking sheets. They are linked on buildyouraudiencesummit.com/day3. So this is the URL for today's events. I'll also link that below the videos, of course. And when we go through them, you can see we have Chandler Bolt, we have Austin Distel, Abul Hussein, Paul Brody, Tracy Burnett, the only woman on this day. Don't take this too seriously, though, because I will be the only man speaking tomorrow. So it all evens out, I think, quite nicely. And then we have Omar Zenhom. And I want to take a minute and walk you through those sessions to help you decide which ones are for you. So if you want to self-publish a book, Chandler Bolt is the most important session for you today. Chandler is actually, the session is a little bit different than what we have going on usually. It is a training that Chandler has done for my audience a while ago. Because of the time zone differences, unfortunately, I couldn't get him to record a session with me for the summit specifically. It's just how it is sometimes. But I think that the session, this training that he delivered, even though it's not for the summit specifically, it is super valuable. It is packed with actionable content. And so I wanted to put this in here. And I just wanted to be clear about this. My team and I are working on the transcription for Chandler right now, because this has been quite a hectic situation to get this finished. But we are uploading the transcription as soon as we finish it. And then Austin Distel is also a session I would highly recommend you pay attention to and you watch, because Austin is talking about building a subscription-based business. So when it comes to building an audience, you might be wondering, what does that have to do with building a subscription-based business? And I think it has to do everything with building your audience, because if you have that subscription-based business, you have recurring revenue coming in that you can spend on building an audience. And on the other hand, you are constantly bringing on new clients, ideally, to grow the recurring revenue number. So you are marketing not just to leads, you're marketing to your existing clients as well. You're building an audience of existing clients so that you keep them in your subscription and you continually deliver value to them. And Austin is one of the best people to speak about this, frankly, at least one of the best people I know. He's the founder of Profit Path, and he's the CMO of Conversion AI and also from getproof.com, which I think is slowly retiring in the benefit of Conversion AI, which is one of our supporters for this event. And I use Conversion AI almost on a daily basis. It is an AI-based tool to create content. And I want to say it's not like copy and paste ready, but it's great for getting started with content creation and for refining what the AI creates. There's a whole nother different story. Point of the matter is Conversion AI has grown to thousands of customers within, I think, 2 or 3 months after the soft launch. And I've seen them from the very beginning. I'm friends with their founder, Dave Rogan-Moser, and now with Austin too, and Chris Hull and the other team members. They are doing a fantastic job with building their audience. So that is why I think Austin is perfectly qualified to talk about building an audience that you can onboard into a subscription-based business. If you haven't already, think about how you can turn your business into a subscription-based format so that you have this recurring revenue, you have predictability and stability in your business. Now, Abul Hussain is somebody I got to meet through Jim Tracer from the Digital Navigator. Thank you so much for the intro, Jim. Abul is a fantastic dude, and his story is, he always makes me laugh when I think about his story. He started podcasting as a side gig during the pandemic because he was bored and he wanted to be productive with his time. So instead of binging Netflix, he started a podcast, and that led to a 6-figure business for his agency. So that is that's quite insane. And no matter whether you run an agency or whether you sell a course or whether you write books or do one-on-one coaching or whatever you're doing, I think this story of Abul earning 6 figures through podcasting almost by accident can be quite inspiring and is something that you should pay attention to if you are entertaining the idea of running a podcast, starting a podcast. Now, here's my friend Paul Brody. I've been working with him. He's the one I've teamed up with, and BCG Publishing, of course, his company, to republish the Virtual Summit Mastery Method that I've written a while ago. And we are talking about the path to becoming a published author, even though you are not a writer. And this is a very interesting conversation. It's a very open and honest conversation about what it takes to write a book, actually, what it takes to become an author, even though you don't consider yourself the greatest writer in the world. And to be fair, I've written a book in English, even though English isn't my first language. So if I can do that, I think anybody else can do that if you are passionate and set aside the time to consistently work on this. But I don't want to dive too deep into this because Paul is way better qualified than I am to speak about this topic. Now, speaking about thought leadership, there's no way around Tracy Barnett, especially in LinkedIn marketing. Tracy is one of the persons I always pay attention to. When she sends an email newsletter, I always read it. One of the rare ones and the few ones I am actually subscribed to. And she speaks about how you can demonstrate thought leadership and raise your profile on LinkedIn, which I think is super important these days. With all the noise that is coming through on social media, LinkedIn is something that is quite, I want to say, I don't want to say untapped, but there's quite a bit of potential. And after just implementing the lessons I've learned from her for around a month, I get over 100 organic views on my posts, on each post, almost regularly. Like I can expect to get at least 100, 150 views from my posts within 24 hours after posting them, because I follow what Tracy is being teaching in this session. So if you want to up your LinkedIn marketing game, this is the perfect session for you today. And then lastly, my friend Omar from Webinar Ninja, I've been interviewing him in 2015 already. He is the best person to talk to for webinars because he's the co-founder of Webinar Ninja. I mean, who else do you want to speak to if not the co-founder of a successful webinar software company? And Omar speaks about what it takes to build leads using a webinar funnel. And this is something you might have heard that webinars are dead, and you might be surprised that Omar thinks they aren't dead, but I tend to agree with him. And after this session, I'm pretty sure that you will also be more open to the idea that webinars still work if you do them correctly, of course. And what I would love to see is I would love to see more engagement in the comments, to be honest. And there are some attendees that are emailing me. There are attendees that are posting on Facebook. There are attendees who share their takeaways in the chat. But really, we're doing a global event right now. And this is something that I always value about virtual summits, is hearing from other people and sharing experiences from other people. And we also do the All Access Pass giveaway, which I will announce the winners of day 2 in the comments on the day 3 page, and you see the URL on the screen. By leaving your best takeaway in the comments, you automatically qualify for winning a free All Access Pass. And it doesn't matter if you've bought already or not. I am refunding people, actually. I've refunded Rebecca from day 1, for example, who has bought the All Access Pass before she saw my email that she won a free one. So I've just refunded her. And this is just my way of saying thank you, really, to you, to spending the time, or for spending the time with us on this event. I really appreciate that. And even though due to the time zone differences, even though I cannot be there when the US is in its prime time, because that's like 9 hours later than my current schedule, and my wife and my daughter will probably kill me, I still appreciate you being here. I still see the comments. I engage with the comments when I wake up again. So let's make the discuss section on all the pages more engaging. I would love to see that. And then obviously, let's quickly go through the digital booth again. And that's one thing I do want to highlight, is that I have to update the screen share, actually. So let's do this right here. So this is the Digital Navigator booth. I love those people. I love Jim and Paul. I love working with them. And as if you've seen the panel and the webinar, you know why by now, because we have very similar values when it comes to working with people. We are all very honest and very straightforward and easy to work with if you respect our boundaries. And I think that is something that we should emphasize, all of us should emphasize more on, is that we should be actively turning people down who don't respect our boundaries. For me, for example, when I was doing WordPress development work, if a client would insist on calling me like 5 times a day to talk about irrelevant stuff or stuff that wasn't urgent, I would turn them down. And this is, I think, a very important lesson that all of us have to learn along the way. And it's values like these where I think that you have to find the right partners for. And Jim and Paul have been very kind. They have been very comforting. They are going the extra mile when working with their partners like myself, or when working with clients. I'm referring to them. I'm not doing WordPress work anymore. I'm referring everybody to Jim and Paul and their team. And when I see the conversations happening, I just appreciate how much value they add even before signing a deal. So there's always like this, what you can do right here, free consultation calls. I would highly recommend you book a free consultation, even though you might not actually be looking for a partner. You might already have a dev team that you are happy with. I would still urge you to book a call to speak with Jim and Paul, because they will give you strategies to make more sales from your website. And that is, I think, something that you cannot get enough of. And also spin the wheel to win some extraordinary prizes. You can win 2 Divi and Elementor landing page templates, which have taken hours and hours to create. You can win 6 months free of their social proof widget to increase conversions. You can win a plug and play welcome email series. And this is just going to show how much work they put into their relationships. I really appreciate this effort and going the extra mile. It really, really shows in this wheel. The same is true for Cloudways. I love being a Cloudways maverick, and you will have seen in the panel yesterday that I've been wearing a Cloudways t-shirt. That is because I'm a Cloudways maverick. I'm a brand ambassador for them. And they also give you hosting credits and an Amazon gift card, and you can win one of the amazing Cloudways t-shirts or caps when you spin the wheel. And it's just one of the most stable hosting providers I found. This website is hosted on Cloudways, actually. So highly recommend checking out Cloudways if you're in the market for a new host. And then we can talk about Weglot, we can talk about Conversion AI, Early Parrot, and BCG Publishing. Weglot is a SaaS tool to translate your websites. When you click on the menu link, you will go to a different page. You'll go to their home page because they don't have a booth on this summit, and you can learn more about what Weglot does there. One thing I love about them, besides being friends with their community manager Thomas Fachin, who is a fantastic person to work with and to be around with, their approach to translating websites is super easy because it's very very straightforward, I want to say. With WPML or different WordPress plugins, you have to fiddle around with .mo and .po files. And if that already sounds confusing, you have no idea what it is actually using WPML. And with Weglot, you just click on the, you have what you see is what you get editor, a visual editor similar to Elementor or Beaver Builder, where you click on something, you translate it, and then the translation is saved. I've talked about Conversion AI already, which is one of my favorite tools for creating highly converting copy. The copy on the buildyouraudiencesummit.com homepage, for example, is created with Conversion AI, and on the All Access Pass page as well. And the conversion rates are above 40% on the homepage. So that goes to show how good of copy you can create, even though it's not my native language. I want to reiterate that English is not my first language. And still with Conversion AI, I was able to create copy that was converting at over 40%. Early Parrot is what you'll see when you invite your friends to the summit. So that's buildyouraudiencesummit.com/invite. Let me just put that on the screen real quick. At least we have another 48 hours to go for this event. So why not invite your friends? You can win some amazing prizes, including free consultations, a free call with myself to go over any topic from virtual summits to WordPress to brand building to growing your audience, website optimization, whatever you want to talk about. And even if you just want to chat about coffee or whiskey, I'm happy to do that too. Invite your friends there. And if you want to learn more about Early Parrot, click the link in the menu to go to their website or send me an email to jan@buildyouraudiencesummit.com, and I'm happy to connect you to their founder, Gaetano, who is a fantastic and very supportive entrepreneur. And then BCG Publishing is the company of Paul Brody, who's going live today with the session about becoming a published author, even though you're not a writer. So that is it for the opening remarks. There's no live panel today, unfortunately, but tomorrow we have two. So tomorrow, the opening remarks will be very short, but then at around 9:15 a.m. Eastern, we will start an interview with Picha Neri, who's also a virtual summit host. And she and I will talk about the experience of being a summit host, give you a look behind the scenes of what does it actually take to run a virtual summit. I think that's a rather interesting question. It's a rather interesting conversation to see how much effort goes into a summit, what type of skills you need to have, and what type of person you need to be, and also what benefits and what results you can expect from hosting a virtual summit. Picha just finished her first summit design for conversions.com 3 weeks ago. And I think she has learned some very interesting lessons. And then at 12 p.m. at noon tomorrow, I will go live with a masterclass on hosting virtual summits, teaching you the proven 7-step process from Virtual Summit Mastery that I implemented, for example, for this event, to bring together thousands of attendees since 2015 regularly. So I've hosted, I think, 9 summits. This is my 9th summit since 2015, and I have taken over virtualsummitmastery.com as the new owner this year. And in this masterclass tomorrow, I will go deeper into the process of how our students inside VSM are bringing together hundreds of thousands of attendees and millions of dollars of revenue combined with the virtual summits that they host. So that's it. I'm very excited for what's about to happen today. I'm very excited to see how you like the sessions. Again, you can find them at buildyouraudiencesummit.com/day3. Let me just put the URL back up. If you want to upgrade to lifetime access, you have 2 more days, only today and tomorrow, before I'm closing the card on this event. Then you cannot get lifetime access for that anymore. So what you can do is, if you want to keep access to the sessions and if you want to reap the bonuses, you just click on Get Lifetime Access, and you decide for yourself whether these bonuses, the 20-hour expert sessions, the 15 hours in MP3 format, the 20+ action session notes and action worksheets, my team and I are working on those. We are creating those manually by hand. There's no AI involved in this. That's why it's going to take us around 2 weeks after this event. What we want to do is we want to focus on the takeaways that our audience shared. So that's you, that's the attendees. We want to hear what you think was the most valuable stuff from each session. And then we obviously do our own research as well and dive into the sessions on our own. And we combine those into those session notes and worksheets so that you save time and don't have to go through all the recordings again. If you just want to have a single lesson from a speaker, you can just go through either the session notes or the worksheets. Obviously, the human written transcripts are there, and we will have a members-only VIP Q&A as part of this All Access Pass as well. And this is for only $97. And there's the coffee machine. You can see it right there behind next to the lamp. I'm sorry about that. So you decide for yourself whether $97 is a fair price for this or not. I think it is more than reasonably priced for all the content that you get. And if you want to have lifetime access even after the summit ended, then the All Access Pass is your way to go. And again, you can get that by clicking on Upgrade Now, clicking on the icon, or on each page, you'll see call to actions. When I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see these call to actions. You can just click on that. If you have any questions, of course, email me, jan@buildyouraudiencesummit.com, or leave a question in Discuss or on Facebook or on YouTube, and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much, and enjoy day 3 of the Build Your Audience Online Summit.